Brawl Talk hype!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. We've got some crazy stuff to get straight away into here in this episode today. As promised, it's time to break down all the craziest, juiciest Easter eggs that we get for any update one day before the Brawl Talk. A ton to get into. I think we now have confirmation that 3 brawlers are coming. We also might have a brawler that's been discussed in the community for years now, Kit, potentially coming out in this update, and so much more to get into here today. So be sure you guys are subscribing up and staying tuned to the channel. We have so much more to get into with the Brawl Talk breakdown, the sneak peeks, and the update itself. I can promise you this update is going to be one to remember. December update hype, dude. But we have here with a tweet coming out 3 hours ago, Brawl Talk December 9th at 16 UTC, hashtag Brawl Talk, hashtag Starr Toon, hashtag Brawladays. Now, if you guys didn't know the format of this one day before the Brawl Talk, when it comes to this Twitter post and anything else, the hashtag Starr Toon is the theme itself. That's the name of season 22. From what we can ascertain so far, it looks like this update's theme is going to be somewhat of an experimental one. We're getting some inspiration from like old school cartoons, which we can also see in the Brawl Talk thumbnail, which I am here for. Dude, I feel like with a theme much like this, there is so much room to work with when it comes to really awesome skins, brawler designs, maybe a brawler fitting into the theme itself, and so much more. It seems like a really awesome theme if you ask me, which we will be getting into speculation upon here later on in this episode. But the only other really important thing before we dive into the GIF itself later on in the episode is the ball of yarn. So this ball of yarn can be seen in the post here on Twitter, and it can also be seen over here on Brawl Stars' community tab on YouTube. So what does this mean? It means a brawler that has been sneak peeked or hinted at for years now. We have people talking about Kit from 2021 is potentially finally making its way into Brawl Stars. It started off as a meme that I believe was presented internally by Danny, saying that wouldn't it be cool to have a cat brawler or something along those lines. That was pretty much so the origin story of Kit, and they memed the sneak peeks of Kit in fun social posts, but of course it never came to the game. I mean, for goodness sakes, January 22nd of 2021, it was the title and thumbnail of our Brawl Talk breakdown that many years ago. So the presence of Kit has been within the game of Brawl Stars for such a long time in spirit, and it seems like it's finally making its way into this game, which means a few different things as well, which we also will be talking about a little bit later on in this video. But I think it's about that time to hop straight away into the thumbnail breakdown and the silhouette of one of the potential 3 new brawlers coming out in this update. Before we move on, I kind of wanted to point this out. It seems like the dev team has already changed the thumbnail. I'm not sure why they ended up doing this. It doesn't necessarily change a whole lot. I think the bunny costume is just a play on, you know, Looney Tunes in the past, you know, Bugs Bunny and stuff like that. But it's a fun element that I wanted to bring up at least. But we're looking here at the premiere countdown, and we have the title of the Brawl Talk itself. Brawl Talk, the most OP brawler is free, which of course is in reference to Mico, the mythic brawler that we are going to be getting for free in this update. Pretty dang hype. But as for the nitty gritty of the thumbnail, let's start off first with the brawler silhouette in the background. As we had previously brought up, this is a play on Looney Tunes, right? Very reminiscent of this, right? Where we have Porky the Pig. I believe that's his name. Hey guys, this was actually pre-me. You think I'm a boomer? I woke up watching Looney Tunes every now and again, but this is really old school cartoons here, but it's pretty much so one for one. The inspiration is this, which in my opinion is extremely exciting for a theme, a cartoon Brawl Talk theme. It's so cool. But as for the silhouette of one of the new brawlers coming out in this update in the background, taking the place of Porky the Pig, it's time to break it down. Number 1, on the far right, it looks like we might be looking at an ear. If we're playing along with a potential cat brawler, I think it makes quite a bit of sense. On this other side here, I think we're looking at another ear. It's just from a different perspective. It's really leading me to believe that this is Kit, you know, the cat brawler. And if we needed any more evidence of it, if you take a look on the far left-hand side of the silhouette here, we have what potentially looks like a whisker. You know, cat whiskers. This silhouette, in my opinion, is one of the easier ones to break down, given the context of what we already see from from the sneak peeks being the ball of yarn and the speculation of a Kit cat brawler coming out. All the big key identifiable things from this silhouette, I think, is giving us what we need, right? It paints the picture for a cat brawler. And one final thing I want to point out here is the Brawl Talk thumbnail has changed more than twice. This was actually the very first version of the Brawl Talk thumbnail that we're taking a look at right now that is available on Google if you just type in the title of the Brawl Talk, which also gives us a bit more room on the silhouette here. The Brawl Talk logo on the newest one is kind of covering up that other ear, which, as we can see from this version, it just makes it plainly obvious, more obvious than it already was, that this is a cat brawler. But another really cool thing about the very first version of the Brawl Talk thumbnail is we can actually see the app logo looking so freaking cool, dude. A nice sneak peek of the app logo. I don't know if it was their intention to like not want to show us the app logo or something like that because of the change, but hey, it's out there. We can see it. Pretty dang cool, man. Very exciting thumbnail if you ask me. But moving along here, another bit of info that I always like to take a look at is the duration of the actual Brawl Talk itself before we move along into more speculative things here, right? Getting all the info out of the way. Taking a look at the metadata of the Brawl Talk thumbnail, we can get this information. Scrolling down here, the Brawl Talk is actually 10 minutes and 49 seconds long. Comparing that with recent Brawl Talks here, it's kind of lining up with the duration that we can come to expect. I mean, for goodness sakes, the Hypercharge Brawl Talk was 13 minutes and 4 seconds. Back in the day, a duration for the Brawl Talk gave a bit more info, such as how much content they were actually talking about, but nowadays I feel like they keep it compact in that 10-minute zone, so it's not really giving us that much to go off of, but it's still, you know, info that I think is important. But now it is time to get into more speculation type beats here in this episode today. Before we get into the GIF that was presented over on the Brawl Stars Twitter page, I first want to get into speculation about the silhouette of Kit and what that means in a bigger picture. As we've been discussing leading into this big juicy sneak peek day, one day before the Brawl Talk, that there was pretty much so confirmation that there should be 2 brawlers coming at least. One is Mico, the free brawler fitting into the Brawlywood trio, and then with fun Easter eggs that we've been talking about, another brawler is more than likely going to be fitting into the Castle Courtyard trio, along with Grom and Ash. So with that bit of info, if that does come true, then I feel like a brawler coming to the game as Kit helps to kind of confirm the potential of 3 brawlers coming out in this update. I don't know if it's just me, but a cat brawler as in Kit, I don't think would fit really well in the Castle Courtyard trio. I could be wrong about that. We're talking about, you know, kind of mythological characters, you know, in a castle, in a medieval environment, having like dragons and stuff like that. It might make sense for a cat to fit in that, I guess, seeing that it's kind of out there and like a different type of character. But going with the gut here, a cat brawler I don't think has a really crazy spot in the Castle Courtyard trio, so potentially Kit having its own trio, possibly helping to confirm 3 brawlers coming on this update. So we'll have to wait and see on that. I thought it would be fun to bring up in this speculation portion before we get into the Twitter post. But now that we got that out of the way, it's time to take a deep dive into the GIF that was posted on the Brawl Stars social medias. This one really interesting if you ask me. Over on the Brawl Stars social medias, it's a bit of a lower quality video because it's a GIF. It's just kind of the nature of GIFs. So I gotta give a huge shout out to my boy Dandy out there for producing this higher quality video or GIF. But the GIF is presenting a flip comic, kind of like a format of animation, kind of going along with the theme of what we're going into, cartoons. Is really cool. We have a yarn ball bouncing with this video here, this animation, thus giving even more credibility, I think, to this Kit brawler coming in this update. But taking a look at some of the other fun details here before we get into the more noteworthy ones that are kind of smack dab in the center, we have kind of this office setting with a lamppost on, someone working back here. I'm guessing the one who is working back here is Kit making this animation. We have a yarn ball there. We have another cat toy as in Spike here on the left. It just makes a lot of sense that this is Kit's workshop here, whatever they're doing, animating some cartoons about a yarn ball. It's very fitting. We got a cup knocked over. Maybe Kit ended up doing that, being a cat. We got some claw marks there up on the top. Dude, everything is just pointing to a cat brawler coming to this game. I believe this is another cat toy up here. We got a lampshade with a version of the new Brawl Pass, I believe, and then a logo of a Brawl Stars logo, I think, with an X out there. Don't know if that's crazy important or anything like that. But yeah, it looks like Kit is a very artistic individual making this animation of the yarn ball at this studio setting, it looks like, with some utensils down there. But getting into a few other things here on the right-hand side, we have what looks like a bomb there. Maybe a potential mechanic for one of the new brawlers coming around the corner. Maybe Kit's mechanic. We know it's not associated with Mico, seeing that we saw quite a bit of their mechanics in the pseudo Brawl Talk during the Brawl Stars World Finals, but we'll have to wait and see how that shapes up. I'm thinking a mechanic for one of the brawlers. But then it appears we're getting some sprays or stickers down here. This one, I believe, for Spike. And this one, I'm not so sure. A lot of the time when it comes to this breakdown photo, one day before the Brawl Talk, we get Easter eggs for new brawlers coming out and skins coming out in the update. So I think some of these things could be associated with new brawlers and mechanics, but I think a lot of these other things, much like a Spike sticker, a Spike drawing, a Spike cactus, cat toy or cat claw thing, I think is related to a potential new Spike skin coming around the corner. But then whatever this is, I'm having a hard time connecting it to anything existing in the game itself. Could also be related to another new brawler coming out in this update. It's hard to say what it even is. It looks like there's an ear on it and then a mouth there at the front. It's like a gun with a mouth and a cat ear. Maybe something associated with Kit. But other than that, some of the other details are very, very small. I'm not sure what this is up here underneath the lamp. We got this little doohickey up here and some other, you know, doodles, whatever's going on here in the studio that I believe Kit is working on. But really, that's just about all we can take away from this sneak peek this time around. And I think it's giving us all that we really need. Some of these photos that come out one day before the Brawl Talk are really convoluted with a ton of different messaging for what's to come in the update, but I think this is perfect. It gives us a vibe as to what's to come, the Starr Toon environment and theme around the corner. We have some animation going on here. We have a desk that I believe is the desk where Kit is working. It's all fitting really, really nicely for this juicy sneak peek. You guys will have to let me know what you're thinking if I missed anything here, but I think we got the biggest beats from this sneak peek. But yeah, other than that, that's really all that we have to go off of. We have brand new Season 21 Starr Toon coming around the corner, the Brawler Days update, where I think 3 brawlers potentially are coming out here this time around. I think we're working with a phenomenal theme. I think Season 22 and this December update is going to be one to remember. So much to look forward to, dude. I cannot wait. But of course, be sure to let me know what you guys are thinking about all this hype info. Dude, oh my goodness, I cannot wait for the Brawl Talk, which make sure to stay tuned. We'll be doing that Brawl Talk breakdown as we always do, taking a look at it for the very first time along with all of you guys. It should be a good time. But that's just about all I got for you guys here in this episode today. Thank you guys for stopping by, and we'll be talking super, super soon. Adios, everyone.